Unbelievable. Quria is gone.
Look how they massacred my boy.
What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages? Joker back again, once again. So, let me make sure I got this right. Let me make sure I understand this correctly. Bungie spent the better part of 5 years hyping up Quora Blade Transformed. Quora, the Vex mind created to understand the sword logic. Quora, the Vex mind that led the assault on Oryx's throne room and outright spanked Crota and his sisters, the Death Singers, in their own dojo. Quora, the Vex mind so powerful that as it assaulted Oryx's throne room, the worm gods cried out to Oryx and said, quote, "Get your fucking house in order." Well, more or less. Quora, a Vex mind so powerful that even after it was taken and Oryx gave it to Savathun as a gift, Savathun was worried that it was still powerful enough to kill her and or invade her throne world. Quora, a Vex mind so powerful, it was, well, according to some, shall we say, questionable lore, able to learn how to take things and ensnare the Dreaming City in an endless recursion of time. And we killed it in a copy-paste story mission. I mean, shit, fuck, I thought we'd hit rock bottom when we killed Nokris and Zul in strikes. But, nope, no, it looks like we can, in fact, fall even further when it comes to the legendary entities of the Destiny universe. I mean, for fuck's sake, Aramis, who is relatively a newcomer, technically speaking, got a dungeon and an entire story dedicated to her. And in Season of the Chosen, some random-ass Keitel-looking elephant motherfucker got an entire strike dedicated to them. But Quria, one of the most anticipated enemies in the history of the Destiny universe, dies in a copy-paste story mission.
Reality is often disappointing.
But Joker!
I hear you cry out in a shrill, tremulous voice, because there are likely some of the same reasons I still have hope that we didn't actually kill Quora Blade Transformed. That's right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, you have just witnessed the rare, self-inflicted butt Joker. I mean, after all, this must be some kind of Savathun trick. It was a simulation. How do we even know that was really Quora Blade Transformed? And on and on and on and on. And like I said, I'm right there with you. I hope it's true. But none of that is established. What is established? Well, sure, this is a simulation. The word simulation seems to be grossly misused this season. Simulations can superimpose themselves now and have negative consequences on all of reality, to the point of deleting, if you'll remember from Curse of Osiris, entire timelines. This simulation is also something that we can enter and kill things and be killed in. And killing things within the simulation has a negative effect on the simulation and the Vex Collective. This was established not just in Season of the Splicers, but as way back as the Curse of Osiris. So yeah, good on Bungie for keeping up with their world building consistency. I really appreciate that. Now, of course, we can't know until we know. And even if Quora is dead now, there's nothing stopping a writer in the future from saying, well, you know, we just bounced a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish and made some shit up. So now we've changed the current status of this character that was dead to being alive. It most certainly wouldn't be the first time this has ever happened. And I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't be the last either. But we're not, as some would categorize it, here to bitch about Quora and its untimely demise. I know, weird, I was kind of on a roll with all of that, and I had so much more material. But the reality is, the point in the shape of the tooth, as some might say, Quora had to die. So the story of Destiny could progress into Witch Queen. So no, we're not here to complain about the death of Quria, as meme-worthy as it is. We're here to talk about the future of Destiny, starting with Season 15. But before we do, insert
But Joker!
Comment from contrarian commenter in the comment section, pointing out that I just spent time talking about Quora Blade Transform and bitching about it, while not understanding that that was just a setup to talk about the future of Destiny and Season 15. So, long ago, in a DLC long past, we got the opening teaser for Season of the Hunt. And curiously, within Season of the Hunt's opening teaser, we see this.
Yet not all is lost. Stand, Guardian. Brandish your light and join the hunt.
Did you catch that? No? Play it again.
Stand, Guardian.
How about now? Maybe just once more with feeling.
Stand, Guardian.
Stop. Enhance. This, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, is a pyramid-like object within the Dreaming City. And I'm sure as many of you will note, that has not happened yet. So what are the practicals and what are the theoreticals here? With the death of Quria Blade transformed, the Dreaming City will be released from the cursed cycle. And it seems that because of this, the pyramids will be able to invade. We will probably get some narrative reasoning behind this along the lines of, under Quria, the pyramids could not invade the Dreaming City because of the time loop. But now that the time loop has ended, well...
It's free real estate.
It also makes sense that the Dreaming City will be the next big focal point for a seasonal DLC for a myriad of reasons. First, if Bungie holds true to their content vaulting plan, in a year, Forsaken will be removed from the game. Season 15 will also be removed in a year from the start of Season 15, so the timeline actually matches up. For those of you who do not know, because every video is someone's first, Bungie has stated that every expansion will go free to play for 1 year before it's removed from the game, and seasonal content will have a 1-year lifespan before it's removed from the game, meaning Bungie must resolve the Dreaming City plotline now. This is quite literally, according to their own content vault model, the last chance they have to wrap up the Dreaming City plotline. The Dreaming City plotline is also tied to Savathun, so it really does make sense that they would want to tie that up before going into Witch Queen. A story that I think will find our titular Witch Queen an ally before the end of it. After all, Savathun, technically speaking, has already been helping us. Gasp! Shock! Horror! Lightning crackle, lightning crackle, lightning crackle. For you see. If you consider for a moment that Savathun has been Osiris since Season of the Hunt, well then, she's helped us stop Ziva Wrath's plot. She helped broker a peace treaty between humanity and the Cabal. She brought Crow into the city, mentored him, put him on her pseudo-vanguard, which led him to save Zavala not once but twice, orchestrated a situation by which humanity needed to reach out to the Fallen of House Light to help us and ultimately form an alliance with them. Her only misstep may have been assuming that we'd take Quora alive. I mean, how else would she hand Quora over to us for us to study without joining us and setting up a situation where we can then retrieve Quora Blade Transform and study it? Then again, killing Quora or letting us think that we killed Quora frees the Dreaming City, which frees up the Awoken to take a more active role in helping us. Something tells me she probably didn't expect the darkness to invade the Dreaming City almost immediately. You know, hypothetically speaking. It's always hard to say with these characters whose entire persona is basically Keikakudori. That said, I do think there is sufficient enough evidence to show that Savathun has been helping us, at least covertly. And in Witch Queen, I think we follow Osiris's trail to Old Chicago, where Savathun will be waiting for us. And that is how we get our new set of powers. Dun dun dun! And while we've been collecting allies like Pokemon, there's one group of allies that's been with us from the start. A group of allies we've not helped out in quite a while. The Awoken, who are also, at least tangentially, connected to the Nine. And talk about your interesting potential for plot. I mean, after all, we have the Helm, and everybody on the Helm we're allied with, and they have a section of the Helm devoted to them. I have to imagine an Awoken emissary, or even Petravenge herself, staying, I don't know, a couple of feet down the hall from Crow, would have some interesting tension involved. I mean, let's think about it. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that the Awoken, like every other species in the fucking galaxy, somehow, someway, through some Herculean leap in logic that us mere mortals will never be able to comprehend, abides by the Vanguard's edict to not inform Guardians of their past. Now you have a potential scenario where we get Crow, Mara, and or Petra all in the same room together. Now, Mara has actually dealt with an Awoken Guardian that she knew before. And in all reality, because the way that the lore is written now, if you play as an Awoken Guardian, you're actually one of the Awoken that left the Distributary with Mara, and then later on decided to leave the Awoken of the Reef to come and help Earth and its survivors. So it's not an insignificant chance that the Queen of the Awoken on some level has a history with our Guardian before our Guardian died. The same of course would apply to Zavala and any and all Awoken Guardians. So Mara may actually be pretty well practiced in staring into the face of somebody she once knew, a friend, a companion, a lover, somebody she just saw on the street every day, and compartmentalizing them as different people. Because, well, technically they are. That said, Crow was once her brother, which is an interesting thought, if nothing else. But like I pointed out, there's a story in the lore where Aldrin captures an Awoken Guardian and brings them back to the reef, showing the Guardian to their family, their friends, and the Guardian doesn't remember any of them, so Mara is fully aware that Guardians do not retain their memories after they're resurrected. So we could have this really interesting dynamic where everybody and their grandmother in the room knows about Crow's history. And the tension is created by way of they know that I know that we know that they know that they know that I know that they know that I know that we know that they know that they know that I know. But Crow does not know. We could also have Mara or Petra accidentally or on purpose break the news to him. But one must ask, to what end? Short of some 15th Wish shenanigans in Season 15, where Crow gets his memories back. Something like that would fit into Savathun's modus operandi. Follow me on this. This is a long shot, by the way. Now, I'm pretty confident in everything that I said will happening up until this point, just because it makes logistical sense. This is a total spitball, fuck it, why not? It'd be interesting to talk about theory. If we say Savathun is behind everything, and we look at this through the angle that Savathun is an ally, then Savathun putting Crow in a position where he might remember who he is could be seen as a gift. Savathun, in her own weird way, seems to care about Crow, as odd as that sounds. If Savathun has really been Osiris since Season of the Hunt, then we have to look at all the mentoring Osiris did, on top of the lore from the Hawkmoon card, in a different light. And after all of that, Crow may be in a place emotionally to not only deal with his past, but move forward as a new man. Not Crow, not Aldrin, but something new. Someone who could bridge the gap between the Awoken and the people of the city, as say, the new Hunter Vanguard, but also the Queen's brother, carving his own path in the universe. And then we would come to Crow/Aldrin's full actualization as a character! Yay! That said, if we look at this as Savathun is not our ally, and she's an antagonist, and everything she's been doing is to undermine the city, like we see with Future War Cult versus the Vanguard and House Light, to sow discord between the elected leaders of the Consensus, the Vanguard, and the civilian population. It would also then make sense for her to either let us kill or think we killed Blade Transformed to free the Dreaming City, thus allowing the pyramids to invade, thus throwing a big monkey wrench into the Queen of the Awoken's plans. Bonus points if Crow gets his memories back and we lose an ally because we killed Aldrin, meaning the Vanguard in the city would continue to grow even weaker, because we could lose the Awoken as an ally, and Crow as, well, the kind of de facto Hunter Vanguard at this point. Like I said earlier, it's always kind of hard to tell with these Keikakidori-esque characters. Regardless, I think it's safe to assume, given the information available from both a narrative and technical standpoint, we do have to finish off the Dreaming City plotline next season, because it's literally the last chance for Bungie to do it, provided they stick to their plans for the Content Vault. What form that takes, who knows? And while my Crow tangent veers dangerously close to fanfiction, the point that I'm trying to illustrate is based on all of the players involved in the current Destiny storylines and the history between Crow and the Reef, there is potential for really, really interesting storytelling there. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did, subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous, but above all else, stay frosty.